Biscuits with Bosses is supported in part by Off Duty Thanks, a gift and apparel brand that invites connection while respecting boundaries. Listeners might enjoy the Off Duty Producer t-shirt if you are an entrepreneur like me, especially when attending film festivals or markets. Imagine you're at a networking event and you want to start shaking hands, but you don't know where to start. By wearing an Off Duty Producer shirt, you invite people to approach you and ask you about it. Now you're meeting more people in a shorter amount of time, but you also have the ability to keep the interaction brief. Just grab that contact info and make a date for a more thorough conversation over coffee or tea and biscuits. Right now, Off Duty currently offers apparel for actors, artists, cinematographers, composers, directors, designers, editors, musicians, producers, and writers. However, if you need a permission slip to say no, you can just choose the original Off Duty Thanks apparel. It's a wonderful gift for anyone looking to rest and rejuvenate. Just a heads up, everybody, these are adults having adult conversations, so there is the possibility of adult language. Hey there, party people. Welcome to Biscuits with Bosses by Owl Echo Entertainment. It's the podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea and biscuits. I am your host, Kay Ross, writer, filmmaker, founder of Owl Echo Entertainment. Now, I have been in the industry in some form for the past 20 years. So theater, television, film, and I gotta tell you, I am still learning. I'm still growing. 6 years ago, I did move away from my hometown in Washington, D.C. in search for something more than just my original trajectory to become a production manager in television. Now, I chose Los Angeles to pursue the more creative side. I knew I wanted to write and direct, but honestly, I never imagined I would have to become an entrepreneur to do that. I'd have to become a boss. Since moving here, I've been on so many coffee dates and honestly just met some truly incredible people. But the industry moves so fast. So now is the time to share what I'm learning as I learn it. And I want to get to know the leaders in the industry the only way I know how. Ted Lasso style. Now, every week we chat with a new guest who is an active influence in the media industry. We get to see the human side behind the role. We get to celebrate our victories together on our way to that big success. And we get to explore what we can do to elevate how we do business, inside and out. So this podcast is intended for professionals in the entertainment industry, but also fellow entrepreneurs. We want to learn from each other. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink, tea, coffee, water, we don't judge here, and join us. Now, we would love to actually hear from you. So if you have anything you're celebrating, feel free to let us know. If you have any questions for our guests, just leave it in the comments below. Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to another Biscuits with Bosses, the live podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea and biscuits. Now, before we get started today, I'm your host in Sassy Blush and Black, Kay Ross, your writer, producer, founder of Owl Echo Entertainment. Now with my co-host, my normal Ed McMahon, Mr. York is on vacation this week. So behind the scenes today, we have my new friend, Lain. Great to have you with us today, Lain.
Thanks for having me.
Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, he gained early recognition with award-winning short films and commercial content. He works in production for the children's show Blippi, which I know you all know and love. He's worked alongside Sesame Street and Miss Rachel, and currently the showrunner for the 2025 Gold Telly Award-winning children's program, Nurse Deon. I'm so pleased to introduce you guys to my friend, producer, showrunner, and my Dr. Pepper buddy, Malcolm Bodon. Welcome, Malcolm.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for having me. What an introduction. And I love that intro music, though. I was jamming out to that. That was pretty cool.
Right? It's like that retro new wave feel. I feel like it's really LA.
Like 80s futuristic, like it reminds me like Blade, like I'm in Blade Runner or something. That's
but like a hopeful Blade Runner.
Really fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, I hope so. Otherwise, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to, let the robots take over. With that happy note, I would love to know, hey, what's everyone drinking today? Malcolm, do you want to start us off? I know you have a very
Yeah.
special mug.
So in my lens cup here, I have a cup of Earl Grey. Hot.
Ooh. Oh, I was going to say, hot, classic Picard. Are you a Star Trek fan? Is that
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
inspiration? Of course.
Yeah.
I love it. Lain, you are also new to the show. What brew have you got for you today?
I actually have Phil's coffee and water.
Yes.
Black. Coffee black, yeah.
I feel like that is born from production. So cheers that you're representing today. I gotta say, I've never been to Phil's though. Why Phil's over others?
I like their coffee. I like the taste of it. It's also a drip coffee. And the one that I have, I think, is a dark roast. So it's less acidic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like when I indulge in coffee, it's usually a French roast. Something about the like round notes, very like full flavor, you know? I personally am rocking, because my throat's still a little scratchy from my leftover sinus infection. So I'm doing Celestial Seasonings Raspberry Zinger with some honey in a gift. This was a gift from one of my previous contractors, wonderful woman named Raven, and it says "Best cat mom ever." Because if anybody has been on this call with me long enough, they know that there will be a feline crossing the screen at some point. So just wait for the guest appearance. That's all. All right. So clearly we are here to tea and chat. And Malcolm, we've known each other for a little while, but there's always stuff to discover about your friends. So I'd love to know, in true Ted Lasso style, first concert, best concert.
All right, so I remember my first concert vividly. It was middle school, and it was Jimmy Eat World, Blink-182, and Green Day. And at the time, at the Amalie Arena, it was called the Ice Palace, which for everyone in Tampa, we are always going to call it the Ice Palace. But yeah, that was such a great experience. I was huge into Blink. And my best concert was here at the Hollywood Bowl. Matt and Kim opened up for My Chemical Romance, and headlining was Blink-182. And at that time, Travis Barker, he got onto this. His drum set was like on this rig on the end of an arm, and just went out into the crowd and went upside down, and that was such a fun experience. But yeah, I'm a huge Blink fan, so. Those first and best concert experience.
For me, I will never ever forget Blink-182. Although now I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna be like, wait, that actually may be the competitive band. What's my age again? Is that Blink-182?
Yeah.
Yes.
Blink, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I feel like I just retained my 90s card.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I never got to see them in concert. Although I say that, and there may have been like a longer, because I remember seeing Sugar Ray as part of a lineup. I definitely saw Smash Mouth, which was like a dream come true for me. Although I don't know, they try to be nuanced in concert. I'm like, no, keep up the tempo, make it cool. But yeah, I think they're trying to get out of that when they're like in person. I'm like, no, give me the good stuff. That's super fun though. I have also seen something at Hollywood Bowl, by the way, and it's debatably my favorite, which is John Williams in concert.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. John Williams at Hollywood Bowl that's such a great experience. If anyone out there has done that, they already know, and you haven't, you're missing out.
I know.
You got to get to it. It's such an experience.
True.
And the crowd's always awesome too. Like they're everyone there, they're all John Williams fans.
Right. Which, Lain, I know you're like busy doing the moderating thing. Thanks for like keeping us in check. But I have to ask, because you are in LA, is there any other concerts in LA you're like, you got to check this out?
No, I did the John Williams one. I think just going to the bowl, that's like, I think it's special. Yeah, because I saw the Pixies and Cat Power there, and that was really cool as well. Yeah.
All right, then. Challenge is on. What are we going to see at the Hollywood Bowl this year? I do want to switch gears because I know that one of the reasons I wanted to chat with you today was because of your YouTube series called Nurse Deon. So I'm kind of curious, like, do you have a guilty pleasure YouTube channel that you like enjoy watching?
Oh man, like okay, so guilt. I love honest trailers. That I like. I love it so much. Like, because they're saying what we're all thinking. They got it down. And then I just love the movie voice guy. And at the end of every video, they get to just hear what he would say and like just whatever comes to mind. And that's such a great channel. Like that's my go-to honest trailers.
Yeah, man.
I could
Uh,
I could spend hours just watching that.
and have.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't trying to call you out. I felt
No.
the voice in your brain speaking really loud.
Yeah.
Actually, Lain, not that we're promoting them at all, would you actually drop the link for Honest Trailers in the chat? Because first off, anybody who's watching, let us know what your guilty pleasure YouTube channel is too. Because the truth is, I think YouTube is a huge incubator for original content, and it's free, right? It's all ad supported. So why not? Why not indulge in YouTube? Admittedly, the thing that got me through the lockdown was cinema therapy, which is like two dudes watching stuff, but like half of the fun is just their friendship. And then, of course, you get to break down films and television from one side as a filmmaker, and then from the other side as a therapist, which is really, really eye-opening. It really is. I think other than that, I usually watch The Take or SNL. Like SNL has been my go-to of late because I like being able to go in, have a few minutes, and actually just like catching up with what they've done. But The Take is one of the few like female review or like video essays on media. So good. So good.
Yeah.
They have a whole series on like tropes. Anyway, I could go on. Since we're also talking about, and I feel like just to like break character for a moment, for those of you who are watching and you're like, why are you wasting precious time with someone who is a professional in the media industry talking about jibber jabber? And I got to tell you, it's important for you to know, getting to know you questions and coming up with different ones depending on who you're talking to in order to like actually build relationships. So if you're watching and you're like, what are you doing? Please keep in mind that if you go on a coffee date, you too should know how to talk to professionals in the industry just as people. So that's part of what we're doing. All right, last getting to know you question. And partly because you're show running a children's series. So I'm curious, like, what was your favorite childhood series growing up?
So growing up, I was huge into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was my jam. I watched the same episode over and over again. Um, but yeah, I guess like now the focus is more like on educational. And Sesame Street has actually done a really great job with that, and that's kind of one of the shows that we like to model after with as far as education retention. But yeah, when I was a kid, I was all into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
I had like every toy product they came out with, it was like I needed it. But yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Ninja
that
Turtles.
is part of the question, actually, because Ninja Turtles for me, I remember the live action films before I remember the series. And for me, I was like, oh my God, martial arts, let's do it.
Yeah.
So like was part of the appeal like the action figures, or was it like the martial arts aspect?
I honestly, I think it was just like they were talking turtles. Like I thought that was pretty cool. But also, when you're whatever age you are as a kid, you kind of look at the next, like the older group. So like the teenagers, they were teenagers, they were turtles, great, and then they're ninjas as well. So yeah, I loved everything about it. But yeah, so it was just such a just it was fun, engaging, and yeah, the action was great. And
Was great.
I was like in a like growing up, you're in like karate classes or whatever, and you'd always be like, oh yeah, I'm Leonardo, and I'm like pretending, like because martial arts with kids, it's it's always a mess, and they're just just having fun, and
Yeah, man.
it's fun to play into that with the Ninja Turtles.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been talking a lot about Nurse Deon, but there are so many people who are watching who don't know anything about it.
Mhm.
So shall we cut to the trailer?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hey
Lain, hit
everyone, thank you for coming to my page. My name is Deon, and I'm a pediatric nurse with over 10 years experience working along the bedside in a children's hospital setting. And let's face it, going to the hospital can be a scary experience, no matter what age you are. So that's why I teamed up with a group of passionate providers, and we created a show that talks about health topics that kids and parents face. We cover topics like going to the hospital, or visiting the doctor's office and getting a checkup, even coping strategies and navigating our emotions. With the help of our expert team like teachers, pediatricians, child psychologists, child life specialists, and many other providers, our goal is to educate and entertain while fostering open communication and conversations about health. This content is intended for kids and parents, so parents, please feel free to provide feedback so we can tailor the episodes to better fit your family needs. Well, I gotta get back to my patients, but I wanna thank you for your support and for joining us in our health adventure. Well, until next time, friends, I'll see you soon.
Yay! Seriously, that is so exciting. And I want to make sure that everybody who's watching, this is an active channel, so be sure to like and subscribe Nurse Deon on YouTube. We'll be sharing it throughout, but feel free to click on it now. That being said, I believe there's also some news about Nurse Deon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I saw on your Instagram that you just won the Telly Gold Award. That's so exciting.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, like when we submitted, we're just like, okay, well, we'll see. There's like there's tons of our category was for online children's show, and we were like, we're gonna try it, because the Emmys, like the Oscars, all those, it's basically based on like what the academy or whatever that group is, like everyone votes on it, and then they have for consideration events, and everyone's trying to plug in. But with the tellies, there's this review board, and so everyone's on a level playing field. It doesn't matter how popular you are, or like it's based on merit. And then like we were not expecting it at all, and then like on the morning of the announcement, they're like, yeah, we won the gold for best online children's show. And our camp's very excited about it, and now our job is to build on that and have an even better season for season 2.
Yeah, man. Okay, I feel like it's proper story time. Can you tell us the inspiration behind starting Nurse Deon?
So Deon and I, we actually know each other from high school. We went to high school together, and I moved out to LA after college. And again, when I moved out here, I didn't know anything about filmmaking. My background was in aeronautical engineering, so it's a big difference from entertainment. And my goal is I loved like epic movies, and I was like, one day I'm gonna make just epics. And during that journey, when the pandemic happened, like I sorry to bring it up, but it's like all my jobs just started like disappearing and everything. And then I get a call from a friend who's like, hey, we're doing some kids show. Do you think you can help out with production? I was like, sure, signed up. And it ended up being with this company called Moonbug, who kind of brand new in the space at the time. And I was helping them on this Thomas and Friends project that they had. And then they picked up another show called T-Rex Ranch that I helped with. I produced, like, basically getting it from they bought it from a YouTuber, and they basically took it from it's like just someone doing YouTube into like an actual TV production. And then I think it was like 2021 they acquired Blippi, and I directed and produced some of the first episodes that, and they eventually became on on Netflix. And from there, you know, I tried doing like other projects, but what kept bringing me back was like the children's content. It was kind of like evergreen. And you know, after doing that in years, parents have been telling me, "Oh, I wish like there would be a show like this," and then I would take notes on that. And then, you know, I just had this like journal of like, man, okay, if I ever created a kids show, I'd have all these elements in it. And then in 2022, Deon moved out to LA. He got a job with one of the local hospitals here, and we were just catching up. And he was telling me that he wishes there was a way that kids weren't, you know, they weren't scared when they came into the hospital. Because you know they all get this, you know. I remember my mom, she would there'd be a deal like, oh hey, Malcolm, we're gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm like, yes, go to Chuck E. Cheese, and we parks the car, and it's a hospital. This is not Chuck E. Cheese. And so, you know, she knew that how I would feel about going to the hospital, and it's like, man, it'd be a great way to change the way kids feel about going into that environment. I mean, she would eventually take me to Chuck E. Cheese, like but it was just after the hospital. She just didn't tell me about the hospital.
Just a stop on the way.
Yeah. So, we just got together. I was like, you know what? I think we got a kids show here. Like, let's like put our brains together and try to develop something that would have an outreach for kids, so that they would get used to the environment, and then also teach them on like what goes on and how to have proper care, and also, you know, because that will help the hospital to reduce, you know, admissions, because that becomes like a hospital cost. So it's like a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically we got down, you know, we interviewed parents, we brought in some of our friends who are specialists in children's like education. One of my friends is a children's psychiatrist that we brought in to kind of oversee the episodes, so you know the curriculum is there, and then the experience of working on a lot of these children's shows, like how to get their attention, how to make sure they retain that education, and also like deliver it in an entertaining way so that, you know, they'd want to come back to learn more. And what's really cool is those that we're seeing the outcome from like the kids that, you know, they'll go see the doctor, they'll let them know, oh, this is a pulse oximeter, it's going to measure the oxygen in my blood. And so we get videos from parents all the time, and it's just so great, like, well, you know, watching them. And what was funny is like when we were developing, there were things that, you know, Deon would think about, like, you know, we're teaching kids how to say stethoscope, and they're like, you know, there's like 2-year-olds can't say stethoscope. And I was like, no, like trust me. We did like it's on our first episode, and then we had parents like showing us videos of their kids, like not even 2 years old, saying stethoscope and like knowing like what it does.
That is
But
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's like, you know, it's been very rewarding in that way, just seeing like the outcome of like what the show has done already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically, yeah, just two kids from Tampa, you know, meeting up in LA and seeing, you know, what good can we do with our talents.
Yeah. And I
And
just want to celebrate that part for a moment, because I feel like the conversation was born from what does the audience need, right?
Mhm.
Like, you'd been collecting your skills, you'd been collecting your knowledge and collecting your observations and all along, but building up and building up and building up, none of that time was wasted because you were waiting for the information that says who needs this, right? And how can we put it together? So I love that it
Yeah.
came from a very sincere place of there's a lack in the world and we can help with that. Cheers to that, sir. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. The universe just put us together.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. Before we go into the victory round, I kind of wanted to ask, like, is there anything on the horizon for Nurse Deon?
Yes. I mean, there's a couple things in collaborations, but we kind of are under NDA right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So good news,
but
we just can't share it yet.
yeah, we do. We do have our next episode coming out. It deals with teaching kids how to swim. So that's going to be a fun thing. So that's something on the horizon to look out for. And then after that, we have an episode on germs. So kids will learn there's some good germs, there's some bad germs, and how to keep stay hygienic. But yeah, we just reached 6,500 subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, and that keeps on growing. One of the things that we love is like our view count. It's consistently growing. So it's that's there, and it's just we're ahead of where we thought we would be a year ago. We're actually coming up on a year of Nurse Deon. August 10th is our official launch date.
Yay! Happy 1-year anniversary, man. That's super exciting.
Thank you.
You knew this was going to happen, right? On a show where there's going to be drinking and talking, we're going to just plenty of cheers just throughout. In fact, you did yourself a service by not having something too overly caffeinated, because we have definitely had that problem in the past. My apologies. All right. Well, I feel like we've gone through all the big victories, but I would like to celebrate the little ones as well. So I was wondering if there was something, and this is for anybody who's watching, y'all should know that the point of the victory round is that we take something from this past week, because it is easy to forget if we go anything beyond that, and just look at, is there something that you've done that you're really proud of, even if it wasn't on your to-do list, right? Even if it's not part of a goal, but it does align with your values. So even if you're here as an audience member, share your victory in the chat, because we want to hear from you too. We'd love to help you celebrate. With that being said, Malcolm, let's show them how it's done. What's something from this past week that you're super proud of?
Something from this past week. One of my projects, we just laid the groundwork for a brand deal, and so it's going to. There's a lot of things on the horizon on that project, and we're all super excited about it. That just happened this past week.
That's so exciting!
Thank you.
Also, cheers to your very PC terminology, because I can already hear the NDA blocking you from saying anything else. So you're like, I can say this much. I can't say anything else. Cheers to your brand deal, sir.
Yeah,
that's really exciting. Yes, and the reason we cheers, by the way, is so that we can hopefully create little memories, because if it's not a new memory, then it's very possible that we'll forget it. So anything we can do to help making it memorable, that's what we're here for. I'm sorry, you sounded like you had a secondary thought to that victory.
Oh, well, there's also another. So I've been getting to this 10,000 steps a day thing, it's I just finished a month of 10,000 steps a day. It's been great, and it's I feel good. But man, the first couple of weeks though, it's like people regularly walk this. Like if you live in New York or something, it's like this is like a every day for us in LA. We drive everywhere. We live in our cars. And so it's you have to make a conscious effort in LA to get even 7,000 steps a day in, and especially if I'm not on set. I'm pretty sedimentary. I'm at home just playing video games, watching some TV, and it's like you got to make a conscious effort. So no, I should go walk.
I mean, amen, hallelujah. And thank you for claiming a personal victory, because I feel like it's easy for us creative professionals to forget about that part. But if we're not making personal victories, then the part of us that can sustain the profession kind of dies away, and then we suddenly can't do the job anymore. So a hearty cheers to your step count, sir. That is super exciting. Thanks for sharing. That was really, I love that. You guys, I love this so much. It just makes my heart full. Okay, I'm good. Also, I just love that you brought that up, because when I met you, and really throughout the time I've known you, you've always seemed really fit. So I love, you know what I mean? So I love that this is a struggle for you, because I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one struggling. Because you're right. Like I was a massage therapist for 14 years. So I'm used to being on my feet for 4, 6, 8, 10 hours at a time. And basically doing like upright push-ups all day long. So switching into this industry where, yeah, I mean, being like you said, when you're on production, you're on your feet, you're running around. So there's that same kind of energy being used. But if you're not in production anymore, especially if you're in development or even trying to get that deliverable out the door, you're probably in front of a screen for hours on end. So thanks for the reminder, because that is not my victory this week. I will make it one.
What is your victory this week?
I stayed up way too late. Yes, I'm just going to admit that there was a flaw in the victory, but the victory for me was adapting my worksheet. So I've been working on a series of worksheets that I'm going to put together in a workbook. So it's one of the books I'm publishing this year for my story math series.
Nice.
Thanks. Now, story math was built on the idea that I'm going to help writers go from concept to outline, basically, using this structure. So instead of structuring your story, it's structuring the writing process. But this weekend, I'm participating in a one-day retreat, and I'm guiding these fellow female writers through a 1-hour writing prompt. And I was like, oh, no, how do I adapt 40 plus pages already of worksheets into like 3 for this one lesson. But I'm so excited because I felt it needed time to mature, and I felt like I made it cohesive. I made it relative, and hopefully empowering. That's the point of it. So I'm really excited for it. And I completely forgot to make this one of our links. So I'm just going to share it in the chat now. But the name of the retreat is called Storytelling and Sisterhood. So it's just a 1-day retreat online. And I'm in charge of 1 hour of it, which is one of the reasons it was such a challenge, because I'm like, give me 3 hours and I'm good. Give me an hour. Oh, goodness. Oh, great. So yeah,
that's exciting.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So that's my victory.
Congratulations.
Aw, thank you so much. You guys are so great. And I think the reason it's important that we do these victory rounds is because when we celebrate the things that we think we're doing well, we can build on them. And I'm looking at the time and I'm like, you know what? We have a minute. So I want to include our guest producer, Lain. Do you have a victory from this past week? Because I want to celebrate you too, my friend.
I do. Mine's random, but I did some baking. So I went to a pick your own like fruit farm. So kind of like last weekend, but I did it on Sunday. So I picked some blackberries and raspberries, and I made blackberry hand pies, which I had never done. It was very random, very fun. I did creative things, but sometimes you got to do creative things that are not always entertainment too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been trying to do the 8,000 steps to 10,000. So I hit 8,000 yesterday, which I was like,
nice. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
All right. Cheers all around. Not just because of hand pies, but also all the steps. That's so great. All right. My 2 cents for anybody who is here as a fellow creative professional. I have to say, Lain, you hit the nail on the head, which is please, please, please find a creative outlet that allows you to just play, because it does allow your mind to wander. And when you kind of come back to the point, it's amazing what new insights you have because of that other like side process. And cooking and baking are strikingly similar to the process of filmmaking.
And if anyone needs any food testers, I'm available.
I feel like we're round of hand pies.
We just need to have like a Biscuits with Bosses like little meetup, right? We're just gonna bring together, like some of our frequent attendees along with our executives, and like let's just have like a little bake off, right? We're all just gonna sit and eat. Everybody bring their favorite baked good. Make sure it's gluten free for me, and then we can try Lain's hand pies, because that sounds amazing. Amazing. Thanks for off rails with me, because this is so fun. Right. And the final stage. And really, I'm so glad that you're here for this, Malcolm, because I just want to celebrate your journey for a minute. Not just because you and I met and I thought you were just a PA because you were on set as a PA, only to find out that you're this rock star first AD. For those of you who don't know, that's an assistant director. They're like an on-set manager. You were such an amazing mentor without like taking over. And then to find out that you yourself were still aspiring towards these other things. So I've just really enjoyed seeing your journey and see you work. But I want to know, like, I hate saying like, what's your MO? Let's talk the future of filmmaking. Like, where do you see it going, and what have you been doing to help it along?
Okay. Well, so I think our biggest battle right now is with AI. It's you're starting to see it everywhere, and we're reaching a point where people, unless you're looking at like a lot of people that are like, if you're an editor or if you're watching like film or you're watching like television a lot, like if it's your job, it's so hard to tell right now like what's real and what's not. There's like these little nuances that you right now, it's like you have to have a feeling of like, oh no, this feels like AI. But I think that's a big battle right now, and I know there are a lot of things going through like legislation to help with keep the art human. But I think that that's a big thing. But also right now it's like I don't want to get into politics or anything, but there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of misinformation like kind of coming out, and one thing I like that we're doing with Deon, we are partnered with YouTube Health. So there's a review board of doctors that have looked at our episodes. I'm like, no, this is legit. So we're putting out viable information. And again, we have a curriculum team where we have doctors and specialists, especially with like episodes like with our exercise episode. There's a physical therapist who's an actual physical therapist. We have people from Child Life, they're consultants on our show, and we even have an episode that talks about a vaccine with a Child Life specialist. It's getting our goal is to make sure everything's credible, and making sure everything it's realistic, authentic. I think bringing authenticity to the screen is kind of like what our goal is, and hoping that spreads.
Yeah, man.
Gotta rise against the machines.
I'm kind of surprised that Rage Against the Machine wasn't one of our chosen bands. I mean, talk about 90s vibe, man. Agreed. And as much as I'm a sci-fi fan, like F Terminator 2, because no. I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I think it actually brings up a new solution that we hadn't really thought about, which is usually those review boards are seen as gatekeepers instead of like validators, right? Your audience wants to know what's real, and having that review board ensures that there is a vetting process that is third party, right? That is not beholden to you, and it's not necessarily beholden to the distributor either. It is meant to protect both entities. So I love that part of the solution against AI is having these review boards, right? Is having these professionals stepping up and going, no, this is good information. What a great, what a great reflection. Because, we can sit here and talk about the problem all day, but if we don't have a starting place, right, for solutions, we might as well be giant hot air bags. They can complain. So that's really just an astute observation. And it kind of gives me hope, not just for YouTube, but it gives me hope for like educational and entertainment programming can still exist. Yeah, that's really great. I feel like, not that you have to take full responsibility for everything that's going on, but like, okay, based on what you've started and certainly the challenges you face, what are you hoping like the ripple effects of what you're doing are?
Well, let's see. The ripple effect is, you know, I guess hope. We when we started our show, we took it to the networks. They weren't. No one. It was that type. No one's buying anything. And then also there's another thing of, is this already successful? Because we're only going to buy something that's already successful.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, like, we were just starting this kid show, and then everyone's like, okay, so is the star already famous? Like, no, he's an actual nurse. He's, not in entertainment at all. It's like, okay, sorry, we can't take a risk on this. So we ended up going to a local business in Tampa, and they funded our first season. And the best thing about having someone finance your project that is not in the industry is they give the creatives free reign to be creative. And like you'll know when executives have like their fingerprints on a project. And then in this one, it's like we got free range, so we got to do what we want, how we wanted it. And that I owe the success of Nurse Deon to the people, our backers, for letting us have free range and like just trusting in the process and letting the creatives be creative. Yeah, they were a great support system. And that's a story that, I tell people, like, yeah, if you can't find, a way for someone, if you can't find the way, make the way. And that's kind of like a thing I'd like to, as far as a ripple effect for future creatives, to just, think outside the box. Like Netflix doesn't like your project, go make your project. Like, find someone else who, will, finance it, or find another way to do it, within your means.
Yeah, man. Where I just need like shoe bops in the background, giant like standing ovation sounds, like this is not for today, but we're gonna find them, because that mic drop. Like, it was just so, yes, all the yeses. And because we can say this and still not be political, there's a huge push right now to shop local, right? To build up your communities by actually looking at what are your small businesses, so that you're fertilizing and nurturing the ground you walk on. And what's interesting is what you just put together is, when you nurture local businesses, those local businesses can also nurture independent shows, and those independent shows can also foster not just your community, but all audiences. And now what you have is a well source, right? And it's a mutually beneficial well source. Oh yes, all the yeses. That is so. I mean, I have lots of technical questions about, like, how does that work? Do you credit them at the end of the episode? Like, are they just credited on YouTube? Like, and is that part of the influence behind keeping so many episodes local? Which I have to say, one of the things I was really impressed by is that, because you were talking about AI and how, part of making it real is an important departure from it. And I think one way to make it real is the episodes you've had where you're visiting local places, right? That interaction is human interaction. That interaction, as much as it's scripted, it's still, you're just present with these people. There's a realness to that, So I guess that's the question: was like the connection to your funder part of the motivation to have it local, or was that always the plan?
Well, so I like, when I moved out to LA, my goal was to, I would like to bring filming to Tampa. So that was always part of the goal. Just some things. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not every single project going to be in Tampa, but I do want to, highlight the city that I grew up in. So, I'd love to have like some projects out there, and that was the main reason. And we were just lucky with the partner that we found. They had a prior relationship with Deon too, so Deon's kind of the glue that put us together. But yeah, it's and there are plans for future episodes in Tampa, and it's kind of to kind of help, like, what it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
They get press, like, or they will see kids like going to school, and we were just helping each other out. So
Yeah.
it's like it's free advertisement for them. We get a location to shoot at. Yeah, people helping people.
People helping people. Y'all, so many mic drops. I gotta just, yes. Huge cheers to people helping people. Yes. Yes. Mm. And the reason I want to make that the big mic drop is because I think ultimately that is the purpose of not just the platform of Biscuits with Bosses. It's really the platform of a lot of people that I've met, which is like, look, we didn't get into this industry to make bank. Look, let's be honest, most of us can't. Like, there's just, you know what I mean? There's good money, but there isn't, like, nobody's going to be the next tech bro CEO, But what we can do is connect with our audience. What we can do is show up for those people and let them show up for us. And just all the cheers, all the yeses. That's just, thank you for the good you have done my heart today. I will respectfully release the con, though, because I fully understand that we've hit our time. So I'd love to wrap up and give you the floor if you have any final thoughts for fellow filmmakers or upcoming filmmakers, anything, any words of wisdom or inspiring last words you'd like to share.
Two things. If it's your first day, like, on a film set, treat that as an interview for your next job, because people are going to be, watching, and you never know where it's going to take you. So yeah, and to tie into that, the second part is, like, there's so many talented people out here. Everyone's talented, but do I want to spend 12 hours a day with you? So that's something to think about. Is just, just be friendly, be a joy to work with. If you want to make it in the industry, it's all about your connections, and not that it's a type of quid pro quo, but if I have a joy working with you, I'm gonna I'm more than happy to have you on set again, in any factor. And actually, that's when I'm working with people, I always ask them, like, what's your end game? Like, where do you want to end up? And I always try to put people on the right track, introduce them to people where they want to be. Because, like, sometimes in those conversations, that's not where they want to be. But yeah, so just, be pleasant, and, life be life. And, but just try to, life be life, but just try to keep in mind when you're on set, we're all working together. Let's get the job done. And if you find out that you haven't been getting calls for jobs, like, it's time to reevaluate your situation.
Yes. Provide for yourself first. If you cannot be a starving artist and be a filmmaker, it just doesn't work. Like, you got to show up and be prepared. Thank you so much, Malcolm. You're amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So good to have you on the podcast. And for anybody who is here, you have not yet met Malcolm, you can follow him on Instagram at Malcolm Bodon. And of course, be sure to check out his show on Instagram as well, Nurse Deon, which is, of course, on YouTube. Just look up Nurse Deon, Deon, and be sure to like and subscribe because it's a pretty darn cool show. Now, for those of you who stayed to the very, very, very end, because I know you knew that there was going to be a special something happening at the end, I would love to share with you a special offer. So on August 16th, I am going to be hosting, for the first time, my workshop for free. Now, in the past, this has been a couple of $100s because it is a 3-hour workshop to help you go from concept to your outline. So for all of you who have ever attempted to just write to a draft and not actually attempt an outline, this just gives you a framework for being able to figure out that outline reliably every time, and in an intuitive way, not in any sort of like follow this checklist kind of way. So I would love, love, love for you to join me on August 16th. The admission is free, but if you would like to purchase my worksheets, which this is the only time I'm going to make it available before the worksheets become the workbook, and that workbook is going to be on pre-sale later this year. So if you want the little guide that helps you go from concept to outline all on your own, sign up for free and make sure you snag those worksheets. That's really all I have. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. Lain, thanks for being a really great co-host. I'm so glad you were here to help us. Malcolm, rock on with all of the new stuff coming up. NDA, I know you can't tell us anymore, but I know it's good stuff, and I believe it's going to work out for you. And we look forward to having you back for another round of tea, biscuits, and bosses. We out. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Wherever you're listening from, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really does help. This episode is brought to you by Off Duty Thanks, a gift and apparel brand that invites connection while respecting boundaries. Wear your hat, hoodie, or t-shirt about town or to those oh-so-important networking events. Check out the different off-duty versions at offdutythanks.shop. And be sure to grab something for your favorite friend in the film, television, or media industry. Today's episode was also made possible by Owl Echo Entertainment. You can learn more about them and their production work at owlecho.com. Head over to owlecho.com to see what we've got coming up. New podcast episodes, events, writing workshops, and consulting services. Today's episode was hosted by yours truly, Kay Ross, co-hosted by the incomparable Matt York, produced by the amazing Lain Ewing, edited by Matt York. Yeah, he really does do everything. Opening music by The Midnight with their track America Online. And of course, follow us on Instagram and TikTok to stay in the loop. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. Bye now.